Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to this next iced coffee date. It's a little chilly in my house, that's why I'm wearing my coat. And it's a new coat. I had this old fleece that, oh my gosh, I've had it for a million years, and it's like all matted here on the sleeves and whatnot, and it's just so gross. And Mal, who is much more into fashion than I am, was like, this coat is gross, you really need to stop wearing it. And I agreed. That was probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and I'm still wearing it. So finally, for Valentine's Day, Mal said, I'm gonna get you a new coat. So on Sunday, yesterday, went to LL Bean, bought me a new coat. So we have a new coat, and obviously it's pug color because wearing fleece and owning a pug just does not go well. So this was pretty much the only color I could get. But anyways, got my iced coffee, let's get into this. So today I'm gonna talk about how I actually hit my protein goal, like the executable part of consuming more protein. Because I think a lot of times when it comes to like this nutrition coaching stuff and, just helping women eat healthier and get healthier, a lot of times, sometimes like saying something like eat more protein can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if you're somebody that's like, I don't know where to start. There's so much information. I'm feeling so overwhelmed. Like, how do you actually get more protein? So I was going to talk about some of the things that I do, not like tracking macros. I mean, that's a part of it because like you need to know how much protein you're eating to like make changes to what you're doing, but the actual like logistics. So I'm gonna start at the beginning, and so we're gonna start really at the beginning here. So I have ulcerative colitis. I have struggled for a really, really long time as far as getting myself out of a flare. In October, decided to go back on medications. Medications got me right back into remission. Praise be, thank God these medications exist. I'm still a little angry at myself that I waited so long, but you know what? I tried everything and everything. I gave it 110% effort. Couldn't figure it out, so we're on medications. But my whole point is, prior to that, I really wasn't caring too much about my nutrition. I was just kind of eating to eat, doing my best, getting nutrients where I could, but just really not prioritizing protein or fiber or anything like that. Just kind of surviving. So October came, got into remission, and I was like, you know what? I need to get it together with my diet. I really do want to change my body composition. I want to get fit. I want to get lean. I want to get strong. All the things that I think a lot of us ladies want. So back in October, I started tracking my food. I mean, I don't track my food every single day. Some days I just don't care. Other days I'm like, all right, let's track and see kind of where we are. And that's where I am. I'm not the have to track every single day, have to hit my macros every single day. And I honestly think that keeps me more consistent because I'm not forcing it. It's kind of like, maybe I should track today, see how we're doing with hitting protein and whatnot. But anyways, back to my point, where we have a lot of tangents today, is that back in October, I started tracking my protein, and I knew, I was like, I'm not eating enough protein. I definitely need to make an effort here. Started tracking my protein, and it took me a good 4 months to get consistent with tracking protein. So this is just encouragement for anybody out there that's like, I know I need to eat more protein. I eat more protein, and then I don't eat more protein, and I can't get consistent with it. I do this as my job. I coach people. I talk about this every single day pretty much as far as getting more protein. And it took me 4 months to really like get the hang of it. Where, there were some days I would do great, other days I wouldn't. But now for the most part, I'm eating enough protein every single day. The reason I know that is that I track my food a few times a week, keep an eye on it. And the days that I don't track, I kind of eat like the days that I did track. So I'm doing a pretty good job there. So anyways, wanted to make that point because, trying to get more protein to your diet, it's different. It's not like what you've done in the past. So anything where you have to change your behavior, it's gonna take time. It's gonna feel uncomfortable. It's gonna feel weird. And really, you just need to give yourself some grace, some non-judgment, some time, some allowing yourself to do it imperfectly. Because there were days that, I think when I did like a little nutrition audit and kind of like, was tracking to see where I was. I want to say I fell in like the 60 to 70 gram range. So I was eating protein, just not enough. And I mean, I can tell you there were so many days that like I didn't hit my 100 to 120 gram protein goal, but there were plenty of days that I got more. I got 80, I got 90 grams. I did better than I was doing. So even though it wasn't perfect, I didn't hit my macros, it was better than I was doing. And over time, it just got easier and easier as far as prioritizing protein and making an effort to have it happen. So as far as like what I do to actually make this happen, I think the number one is get it into your house. And I know this is like such like a duh, like no kidding, if it's in your house, you're gonna eat it, it's gonna be a lot easier. But if you're somebody that's like really winging it, you're relying on a lot of takeout, you're dining out, that type of stuff, it is hard to get protein. Of course, it depends what you order, but I just think at home you have more control over what you were consuming and what you were eating. So for us, this is not a sales pitch, I promise you. We have been doing ButcherBox since ButcherBox came on the scene. You know, I used to do the influencer thing. They're a local company. They're here in Cambridge. So they reached out to me back in my influencer days. I started using them and I've never stopped because it is the most convenient thing ever. And I did do a price comparison, I don't know, like a while ago, with like Whole Foods and ButcherBox, and ButcherBox was cheaper, better quality, and it's delivered to your house. You don't even have to go to the grocery store. You don't have to think about it. And we do a box every single month. We get a lot of the same stuff, a lot of ground beef, a lot of shredded chicken. Quinn loves their chicken wings, so we get those every single week. They have a shredded pulled pork that's really good. You pop it in the microwave, so easy. Again, this is not a sales pitch. Like, this is something that even if I wasn't on the internet, being an internet person, influencer, whatever the heck, I really don't call myself that anymore. Don't really do that anymore. But anyways, I would still use ButcherBox, and I rave about it to friends and family, and I just can't say enough about how convenient and how great it is. Price-wise, it's really good. They have tons of sales, they have tons of deals, all sorts of offers. But my point here is, it's delivered to my house every single month. I just put it in the freezer. And then what I do each week is that I have a rough outline of what we're gonna eat for the week. So Sunday is kind of like my meal prep day, but honestly, I don't spend more than like half an hour to an hour on meal prep, and a lot of times it is a little bit of batch cooking. I love my Instant Pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you gotta get one. I use it all the time. But typically on Sunday, I'll do some sort of veggies for sure, like roasted veggies, potatoes, starches, squashes, rice, like a big thing of rice in the Instant Pot. Can't be easier to make rice in the Instant Pot. And then a lot of times I do beans. So that's kind of the Sunday plan, but then I'll also do like some shredded chicken. I'll maybe cook up some ground beef for the week, something like that. Honestly, I'm not doing a lot. I'm just doing a few things to get the week started. But the thing that I do is that I take meats out of the freezer, enough for the whole week, and then I put them in the fridge. I just have like a big mixing bowl. I'll put the frozen chicken in, the frozen ground beef, the sausage, whatever we're eating that week, and I put it on the top shelf of the fridge so it just defrosts throughout the week. So we always have something to cook. We're not defrosting things or there's nothing to cook. Like we have something defrosted and ready to cook, and I hate wasting food. I absolutely hate it. So if there's something in there that's defrosting and that needs to be eaten, it's gonna be eaten. Like, we do not waste food in this house. It really makes me mental. So it's almost kind of like encouragement to eat healthy or to eat at home, because there's definitely been times like a Thursday or a Friday where I'm like, should we just get takeout? I don't feel like cooking. But then there's like 2 pounds of ground beef in there and I'm like, you know what? We should eat that. And then we don't do takeout or don't dine out. Not to say that we never dine out or do takeout, but it does kind of encourage us to eat at home and eat healthier a lot of the times. And then as far as like a meal plan for the week, I usually have like a loose idea, and we make a lot of the same things again and again. We do a lot of shredded chicken because it's easy, because you can put buffalo sauce in there, barbecue sauce. You can make it into tacos, quesadillas. We do a lot of tacos, a lot of things with beans. I love beans. We do a lot of pasta. Both Mal and Quinn like pasta, and I'll do like a gluten-free pasta. So we do kind of a lot of the same things again and again. So I always have a loose idea of what I'm eating Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'll cook basically those 4 nights, and every single night that I cook, I'm always making something for leftovers, or I'm always making something for the next day. So as I say to our clients, always be cooking. So every time you turn on your oven, turn on your stove, think about what you can cook for the next day. Like, a lot of times it could be leftovers from Al to take for lunch, or leftovers for me to heat up for lunch, or I'm literally thinking about what is going to make dinner easier tomorrow night, because we have basketball, we have jujitsu, we have things at night. So like anything to make things easier. And then honestly, by the time I get to Thursday, Friday, it's a lot of leftovers. It's a lot of winging it. It's kind of like whatever's in the fridge. So like those days I don't really have a plan, but like the way we cook, a lot of times it's just pieces of meals. So we'll have like ground beef. we'll have some potatoes, we'll have some roasted carrots, we'll have some rice, and we just kind of like throw meals together. It's not full on recipes. I mean, sometimes I make a recipe, sometimes I'm in the mood to do it, but a lot of nights we're just putting pieces together, and that's how we do it. So back to how I get the protein in. So really, I think a big part of it is getting it into the house and meal prepping it in some sort of capacity. So like I said, big fan of the Instant Pot, crock pot, same thing. Like fish, as long as you have some fish defrosted, that takes 2 seconds in your fry pan or in the oven. And back to Butcher Box, they have cod fillets, they have salmon burgers, things like that. They have shrimp. So fish is like a super go-to easy option. We also just do random tuna things like tuna melts and like tuna salads and things like that. Tuna is like a good go-to protein source. But really, like, just getting into the house and meal prepping it in some capacity is really going to set you up for success. And then as far as like how I actually plan my meals, like every time I think about a meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, I'm always thinking about what protein source I'm going to have. And that's always where I start. And typically it's like, I try to get 25 grams or more per meal because I do feel like my goal is 100 to 120 grams per day, 125 maybe. And I give myself that range because it does help me feel more successful so I can be more consistent. Because I do think if like you're trying to hit your macros and if you're like not using them correctly or you're like, as I say, abusing the hell out of them, like using them for restriction and things like that, having like a specific number to hit can make you feel bad about yourself if you don't hit it every single day or you're not being consistent. I think it can just give you some like bad feelings around like food and food guilt. But really, I think giving yourself a range of protein makes you a lot more successful in the sense that like if I hit 100 grams for the day, I'm like, yay, I did it. I'm good. I don't worry about it. Honestly, even if I hit like 90 something, I'm like, close enough, we're good. But I think having like a really high goal or a specific number that you don't hit on the regular can make you feel bad about yourself. And I do think a lot of times, like when we're not doing things perfectly, like the default is to do nothing. So I think having that range is really, really helpful. I think I had a point with that, but I don't remember what it was now. That's why this is an iced coffee day. This is super informal, right? But I just wanted to share a few things that I've realized since adding more protein to my diet. So this has been since October, so it's been like 4 months-ish, almost 4 months. But the things I've noticed, I've definitely built muscle for sure. I've also been a lot more consistent with my workouts. I was recovering from overtraining syndrome, killing my adrenals, all that. So I've been kind of, low key with my workouts and then started to ramp it up a little bit more. So I've been working out probably, I'd say consistently 4 times a week, and it's mostly CrossFit, but sometimes I just work out in my basement, lift some weights, do like a little, sweaty Metcon or something. But I've been a lot more consistent. So 4 days a week working out, eating more protein, which I've definitely noticed more muscle. Definitely getting stronger, getting some PRs in the gym or getting back to where I was in the gym. So that I'll take that. My blood sugar has been a lot more stable. I definitely don't feel hungry all the time. So I was that person who I was definitely dealing with some sort of blood sugar dysregulation where I was like I would eat a meal and then I would be hungry like 90 minutes later, sometimes even an hour later. Like I just felt like I was never satisfied, or I always had like sugar cravings. Like I needed something sweet to eat after every single meal. And now just eating more protein, getting that blood sugar under control, like I don't have crazy cravings. And like honestly, when I'm hungry, it feels like not overwhelming. I feel like when I was dealing with those blood sugar issues, it was like almost like panic mode. Like I needed to eat something because my blood sugar was so out of whack. And now I feel like I can go a while without eating, or like it's easy for me to go from breakfast to lunch to dinner. I usually have an afternoon snack. I love an afternoon snack. But I don't feel like panicked between those meals when I'm hungry. I'm just like, oh, I'm getting a little bit hungry, no big deal. So a lot more satisfied, a lot more stable as far as my energy levels and moods and hunger and all that goes. But it has made such a difference as far as just getting that more of that protein in. And this whole time between October and now has been all about lean bulking, so purposely building muscle. So I've been eating a little bit in a surplus, but now, with spring coming and the summer and everything, want to get a little bit leaner. So now I'm kind of eating in maintenance and just seeing where things happen. I definitely don't think you need to go on a diet or go into a cut or restrict calories to get super lean. I think if you are healthy and doing the right things, you can eat at maintenance and see magical things happen with your body. So that's kind of where I am now, and just kind of waiting to see what happens, because I was definitely eating in a surplus like through the holidays and everything, and really the best time to do a bulk is like October through like February. So definitely planned it right, timed it right, and this is what I teach our clients and group clients and stuff. It's all about like planning those phases into certain times of your life to make you more successful. So like, I don't know, like a lean bulk, getting ready for summer, like not the best. You're trying to like lose weight and get leaner, so you don't want to be eating in a surplus. So it's all about like timing it. So now moving into maintenance, we're going to see what happens. And if I do need to do a cut, maybe like April, May, June will be a time to cut. And then the summer will probably be back to maintenance, because beer and barbecues and traveling and vacation and all that good stuff. So anyways, just wanted to share some of those details. Hopefully you guys find that helpful as far as like hitting your protein goal, getting more protein goal, actually making it happen. And if you're curious about all this stuff, like phasing your nutrition, lean bulking, maintenance, cutting, reverse dieting, we could throw that in there. Definitely sign up for my training. So it's a free training. It's happening next month. It's a 2-part training. But really all it's about is finding your fit physique number. So really figuring out how many calories you need to consume to get strong and fit and lean and like the bodies we want, but like not starving yourself. I just don't think that's the way to do it. And just working with clients over the years and like what starving yourself does, like it really does mess with your metabolism and your thyroid. I mean, your thyroid is thinking, oh my gosh, we don't have enough energy. Let's slow down all the processes in the body, which is why you gain weight, which is why you lose your hair, which is why your skin gets dry, which is why you have constipation. So like under eating is not the way to get fit and strong and even lean. It like really is fueling your body appropriately. And if you're somebody that's been doing this fad diet thing, restrictive diet thing, your body is probably depleted as far as like minerals and vitamins and nutrients. So really like making sure you're like nourishing your body and getting your body to a healthy place. I just think a lot of things can happen as far as feeling better, being in a better mood, having more patience with your kids, whatever. But also like changing your body for the better, where you're not like fighting with your body, you're not, restricting, over exercising, doing all these extreme things. You can just live your life and not worry about it. You can get to a good place and eat at maintenance for most of the year. So anyways, would love for you to sign up. It's a very different approach to tracking your food, fueling your body properly, and not doing crazy stuff. I mean, over here, we're very realistic. I am not perfect, and I feel like if more women were less perfect with all of this, they'd probably feel better and be more consistent in the long run. So that's really our approach. And we want to simplify it for people, because I do think there is a big amount of overwhelm in this space as far as like diet, nutrition, fitness, losing weight, and all that. So we're big fans of making it simple. Anyways, sign up. The link is in my profile. It's the first link. It's totally free. There's 2 sessions. The first one, you will learn a few things. You will have some homework. We're going to get really clear on what you're eating or not eating and how much. And then the second session will be about putting the pieces together and giving you guys some next steps as far as how to get to this fit physique that you want without being crazy, starving, doing tons of exercise, wrecking your hormones, killing your thyroid, all the things that I talked about. All right, guys, have a lovely day. Happy Monday, and see you soon.